Look at a professional football match, and you might spot a moment where gravity seems to pause. Cristiano Ronaldo rises above the defenders, holding his position in the air just a fraction of a second longer than anyone else. This chart compares vertical reach to put that into perspective. A standard person tops out around half a meter off the ground. An average professional footballer hits about a meter. Cristiano Ronaldo pushes that limit to an astounding 2.5 meters. At that elevation, opposing players are effectively grounded. They are forced to watch as a superior athlete executes a strike entirely outside their physical range. In nature, there's only one biological engine that easily surpasses this mark. A kangaroo in full flight can clear nearly 3 meters in a single bound. So what physical upgrades would it take to bridge that half-meter gap? What happens if we engineer a human athlete to hit that 3-meter ceiling? To reach those heights, we must swap human biology for heavily muscled kangaroo legs. Muscle density in the lower body has to increase drastically. This diagram shows a muscle bundle's fast-twitch fibers rapidly contracting, providing explosive energy against gravity. Zooming out, the elongated foot and tendons act like a tightly wound biological spring. When crouching, kinetic energy is stored in those heavy tendons. Ronaldo actually mimics a fraction of this animal mechanic on the pitch. He drops into a deep pre-jump crouch, aggressively swinging his arms upward to build vertical momentum. Generating extreme height is purely a math equation. An athlete simply has to drive enough kinetic energy down into the ground to overpower the downward pull of gravity. Plug kangaroo-level leg power into that equation, and the launch velocity is immediate. The athlete rockets upward, instantly leaving the goalkeeper's field of vision. Reaching a 3-meter apex offers a massive tactical advantage. The athlete strikes the ball at an altitude where no opponent's hands or head can legally intervene. All the forward momentum gathered during the initial sprint is preserved. As the player hangs at the top of the arc, that stored energy transfers violently into the ball. The result is immediate. The ball crashes into the back of the net before gravity even begins to pull the player back to earth. Combining this extreme vertical launch with human coordination completely neutralizes traditional defense, making the player mathematically unstoppable. But launching 3 meters into the air is only the first half of the physics problem. The real danger is the return trip. This model tracks landing forces, showing a descending arrow that splits into massive shockwave vectors upon impact. Because kinetic force multiplies based on drop height, a 3-meter fall transfers a bone-shattering amount of stress straight through a human skeleton. For our engineered athlete, returning to the pitch creates a heavy collision. The ground compresses, and the joints absorb a massive spike in pressure. Looking at this force diagram, you can see how nature solves this exact issue. The kinetic vectors redirect backward, dissipating safely through the shape of a large, thick tail, acting as a necessary third leg to absorb the lethal shock. Without that counterbalance, a human skeleton shatters. The true barrier to a superjump is having the physical architecture required to survive the impact. Which brings us back to the reality of Ronaldo's actual human jump height. Reaching 2.5 meters is not a failure to match the kangaroo. It is the absolute maximum altitude a human frame can reach while still being able to walk away from the landing. Biology forces a choice between raw, unmitigated explosive force and the grounded, calculated skill required to navigate a crowded pitch. Humans evolved to prioritize sustained movement. We sacrifice a 3-meter leap for agility and joint health, necessary to sprint, pivot, and compete over a 90-minute match. So you have a choice. Would you rather have the game-breaking power of kangaroo legs or the sustainable, elite skills of Cristiano Ronaldo?